Welcome back to Salty Sunshine. This is Lisa. This is a solo audio only episode. Bree just left Miami. She came to visit for a week during my birthday week. We had a good time. You guys, if you're in Miami, I think it's only Miami right now. There's a place called El Sandwich with a G, sandwich, but spelled like Guich at the end. And the sandwiches are so overpriced, but actually really good. Like a sandwich is probably between $13 and $18, but really delicious. I highly recommend. The actual aesthetic of the place is beyond adorable. It's very chic. It's very cute. So if you're ever in Miami, I'd try that place out. Also, I've been listening to a lot of people talk about Reiki and the wonders it's done for, I don't know, mental energy. If anyone knows a really, like someone that's good though, that's the problem with, therapists and professionals of certain stuff like that. You have to find someone that actually knows what they're doing. So if you know a good Reiki that's not $1 million in Miami, send it my way. I want to give it a try. I've never done it before, but people say, like Lauren Bostic from the Skinny Confidential and even Claudia from the Toast, they were talking. Lauren actually used it to turn her baby around when she was pregnant, and then Claudia needs to turn her baby around. So she was saying how Lauren said that, and I don't know, she'll try to do it. But I saw some other people on TikTok saying that they went to a Reiki and she spent a fortune, like $400 or $500, which I won't do, but I'm sure there's cheaper ones. And she said that she thought she got swindled, and then the next day she felt really weird, and then from then she felt it really made a difference and she feels lighter and her whole life has changed. So I want to try it. Why not? Doesn't hurt. What have I watched recently? All right, obviously White Lotus. Everybody's watching it. The only problem I have with White Lotus is that they have to get so perverted, and I don't think that's necessary. I guess it's like a shock factor. But incest is really a skip too far for me, and I don't enjoy that at all. It makes me want to throw up. But um I don't know. Hollywood thinks the weirder, the quote unquote better the show is, and I completely disagree. You can make something really good without it having to be perverted and weird. But that's what the White Lotus is. So the season's okay. I've never loved the White Lotus. I watch it because it's not terrible, obviously, and everybody's watching it, and it's weird. I don't know. You watch it because everyone's watching it, in my opinion. It's okay. It's fine. I don't think it's genius like everyone is saying, but it's fine. We just watched the last episode the other day, and there's all these theories going around of what is going to happen at the end. And one of the theories is the woman, the mom, the southern mom, Tsunami, that she's going to like flip out and she's going to be the one to like off everyone because they ruin her vacation. And then what's the other one? Oh, the other theory I heard is the lady, the owner of the hotel, because the guy went and threw her husband to the floor and pointed a gun at him, that she'll probably retaliate and come back to the hotel and do something because of that, which makes sense. Or the husband of Miss Tsunami is going to finally get his hands on the gun he keeps losing, or a gun, and do something there because he keeps fantasizing about killing himself and killing everyone around him and his family. I will say it's interesting, the whole Nepo baby effect of this, the father and then the son that works with the father. So the son telling the father, if there's something wrong with the business, I need to know because I'll have nothing to live for. I'll have nothing. That to me is the epitome of what's wrong with these Nepo babies and this parenting tactic of giving your kid everything and having them rely on you for their success. And not, it's okay to do that, but with the notion of telling your kid, what's mine is mine. It's not yours. This is a privilege I'm affording to you. But if all this goes away, you're going to have to buckle your bootstraps and get the hell on with life and figure it out. Like, you have to kind of ingrain that in your kids since they're little, male or female. and just be like, you can't just depend on me. And if I afford you, if I have it and I'm allowing you in, like, don't take it for granted, and always know you should have other skill sets and you should be a go-getter, because things can change at any moment, like it does with this situation. But so the dad won't tell him what's going on, but the dad's probably thinking, well, if you have nothing to live for, I'll offer you to. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see in the finale. I heard the finale is going to be longer than the regular episodes, so that'll be good. It's gonna come on today on Sunday. So yeah, it just makes me sad when the son's telling the dad, "I'll have nothing to live for. This is my whole life." It's like, what are you talking about? You're 12. That's not your whole life. Life has so many changes, and I get it, because I was 20 once too, and you think life is so long and this is how it's going to be, but there are so many twists and turns. Not everybody, but sometimes your life can change, like a full change, at least 2 times in your adulthood, and you just start over and you go a completely separate way. So that's sad. It makes me depressed to watch that, and like that mentality, and you think that's what it is. So White Lotus, I think I already talked about this last time, but if I didn't, Long Bright River on Peacock. It's with Amanda Seyfried. Amazing, amazing, amazing show. It's based off a book, and she does a phenomenal job. But the real star of the show is the little boy that plays her son. He's the cutest freaking little kid, and he's so phenomenal. I think I posted a clip of it, of how much I loved it, and somebody commented it was his grandmother. The little boy's grandmother's like, "That's my son." And she was saying that he was going to be on FBI International and all these other shows. So he's definitely going to be a star, and he's adorable. And I follow him now on Instagram, and I can't get enough of him. He's really cute. So Long Bright River, she's a cop in Philadelphia. Her sister's an addict, and she's trying to find a murderer, and her sister's kind of involved, and it's really, really good. Another show, Yellow Jackets, finally came back. All these shows are coming back from like 10 years ago. It's almost annoying. The Handmaid's Tale, Yellow Jackets, there's all these shows that had stopped for so long, and all of a sudden they're coming back. What's the other one with Ginny and George, I think it's called? That's also coming back. But it's been so long. When a show ends and there's such a long period between when it comes back, it almost makes you not want to watch it anymore, because the momentum is gone. But so anyways, Yellow Jacket, the third season, is on now on Paramount Plus slash Showtime. That show is so phenomenal, though. That show is so good. um it's about this, I forgot if they were soccer, a school team, like a sports team. I don't know if it was soccer or something. They they're called the Yellow Jackets, and they get on a plane to go to a tournament, and the plane malfunctions and crashes into an island, and so they're all stuck there on the island forever. And the girl in the show, called, I think her name is Misty, she which she plays, Christina Ricci plays her as an adult. She's so good. She's like a freak, and she's so happy because she's like the biggest dork. And when they land and crash, she they kind of have to work together and band together, so she feels like she has friends for the first time, or getting along with people for the first time. And I believe she gets like the black box or something, or whatever box that will help them either get found or the people be able to find them. And she gets rid of it, or she breaks it, or she does something to it, because she wants to stay on the island, because it feels good to her to finally have a community. And that happened in season 1, I think. And now we're in fast forward to season 3. And I think they're bringing it back up now. In the last episode, I could have sworn I saw a girl messing around with a box in private. Like they found something and they're going to try to do something with that in secret. But it's such a freaky, crazy show, but it's really good. Like these bitches on this team are insane. They eat each other. Not eat each other, but they've eaten, I think they ate at least one person that died at the beginning, because they have to survive, and they don't have, hunting skills, and they don't know what they're doing. So it's kind of nuts, and they get really nuts. There's something crazy in the forest where they are, like a spiritual vibe that's off, and everybody, like one of the girls is very spiritual, and she's like connected to that, so she talks some crazy stuff, and then other girls get weird. It's a weird, there's something going on in behind the scenes. I'm not sure what it is, but it's kind of like a spirit energy thing that's kind of messing with some of the girls, and it transfers onto their adult life because now it shows them in their adult life and they get back together and they're trying to figure out what's happening behind the scenes because weird stuff, people are getting killed and or dying. But it's really good. Yellow Jackets is amazing. I found another show on Paramount Plus. It's called Happy Face. It is really good. It's based off a true story, which I love. It's about a girl that her dad was a serial killer, and she hasn't talked. The daughter, it's a daughter and a son, and the daughter hasn't talked to him in like 30 years. He's been serving, life sentence for killing 8 women, raping and murdering 8 women. She hasn't talked to him, but she works at a news station or TV network, and he keeps trying to get in contact with his daughter that wants nothing to do with him. So he's kind of manipulating her and using the tactic of, there's a 9th woman I killed. And so that 9th woman, there's another man that's apparently innocent that's been serving time for killing this 9th woman, but he's innocent and he's about to get the electric chair. And so because of that, the girl agrees to go see her dad and talk to him and figure out where they can get the proof to show that he did kill that 9th girl so the other guy won't die. So she goes to the hotel, to the jail, and her dad is played by Dennis Quaid. And it's interesting. It's a really good show. I really like it. I've never heard of this story, but I did hear, oh my gosh, Lisa Rinna and Harry Hamlin have a podcast. And I remember Lisa talking about this on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Her mom, Lois, beloved Lois that has now passed. She was the star of the show. She was so cute. She mentioned on the show, which then she mentions now again, in full detail on the podcast, that her mom, Lois, was the victim of a serial killer back in the day. And it's a fascinating story. Lisa says that she's shocked that they never did a documentary or movie on the serial killer. His name was David Carpenter. He was called the Trailside Killer. And she says they might have done like a clip with a show that, what's his name? Danny Wahlberg did on, I don't know if it was ID Channel, but anyways, she thinks they did they mentioned it a little bit, but they haven't done a full like they do with all these other Datelines or documentaries and stuff. But maybe they'll do it. But Lisa Rinna's mom used to work, I think, some sort of military base or something like that. I think she was a nurse, and the guy worked there, and he had a lisp, and she had a doctor appointment one day, and I don't know what she was taking, a bus or what she was doing, but he offered to give her a ride, and she knew him from work. So she's like, sure, at first she was like, whatever. He kind of convinced her. She's like, fine. He had a baby. He was married. So she thought, he was fine. She gets in the car and something starts to seem off. And then he starts to talk without his lisp. So he had a lisp at work, and then he stops without the lisp. And that's when she knows, done deal. She's dead. She's dead in the water. He was faking the lisp, and he gets a knife, and she tries to block the knife, and her fingers start dangling, and she's sitting there bleeding with her fingers dangling, and then something happens in the car. He grabs a hammer. He hits her in the head with a hammer. So her head is full of platelets, like metal plates or whatever, from all the damage he did to her head. And it is really interesting because she said that there was I don't know what was happening behind the scenes, but there was a policeman from the base coming towards him, so he couldn't get out of that area. And that's when he started to hit her. Maybe he tried, I don't know what the real story is. I have to go back and listen more. But basically, the cop was coming towards him, so he had to stop the car. And they had kind of like a shootout. But the mom, Lois, while she's in the car with her fingers cut off and her head, bleeding or whatever from the hammer, her purse falls over. Her only focus from being in shock and so scared is trying to get the contents of her purse back in her purse, which I think is fascinating because that happens to people when you're just in shock and you weren't expecting this and you don't know what to do. You kind of like veer off and do weird stuff that doesn't make sense. So I thought that was really interesting. And so anyways, the Happy Face show on Paramount Plus, it was really good. So I highly recommend that. It's still going on. I think it comes on once a week, they're bringing that back now. The shows that come on once a week, which I appreciate because I don't want to binge a show, watch the whole thing, and be stuck in a house doing that, and then it's over. And then it's almost like a high and then a low. I don't know. I like the once a week thing. So I'm not mad at that. Oh, Bosch. If anyone out here watches Bosch, it's a show from Prime TV and I really like it. He's a cop and he won some lawsuit or something. So he has like a lot of money now, but he lives in LA and it's just a really good, just like that really nitty gritty, just cop show. It's really good. I really like it. And I think the new season and final season just started on Prime, which I'm so excited about. So I'm going to start to watch that. Um, Meghan Markle. I watched her show with love. I loved it. I thought it was great. It was very entertaining and relaxing. I didn't mind it at all. No criticism here. I can see why people make fun of it because there are parts that are conducive to making fun of her. So that's fine. Who cares? But I liked it. What I don't like is her website that just launched, as ever. Um, what is it with celebrity brands and posting or launching product and websites and having it quote unquote sell out within a few minutes, half a day, a day? It's like, then you didn't have enough product. And that's not how businesses are ran. Like, go back to the basics. Real businesses are ready to launch with full lines of products that don't sell out. You're supposed, if it's a store, you're supposed to have stock. It's not supposed to be, oh, look, it's been open 5 minutes and everything's gone. It's like, ew, that makes me not want to have anything to do with your brand. I never want to try anything. I never want to buy anything. Get out of my face. That's one of my pet peeves and I can't stand it. So she launches her brand and you go on it and everything says coming soon and sold out. So what was the point? Okay, well, guess what? I wanted your flower sprinkles and now I'll never buy them because that pisses me off. You probably made a batch of 10 and let your friends buy them and once you want to quote that it's sold out and guess what? That's not a flex. That just means you had no stock and that pisses me off. I'm like, I hate that. I don't know if anyone feels the same, but I really hate that when Skims used to do that and also I think Kylie Cosmetics used to always do that. It's like I don't want to be I don't want to purchase something that I actually enjoy. And then if I need it again, I know that you're the company that never has it. See, that to me, I'm not going to even invest in the first place. I want to invest in products that are always available. That's my thought process. I don't know about you guys, but that kind of upsets me. The Menendez brothers, they're denied resentencing from the new district attorney, but on Monday night, they're going to have a show on TMZ. I think the TMZ post said that they were going to post it on Fox. I'm not sure, but I want to watch that. I guess it's their reaction to what's going on. So I'll be watching that, but they were denied. I thought it was a slim chance that they would get out along with Selena's killer, Yolanda, Selena, the singer. The Mexican singer, the lady that killed her, Yolanda, she also was denied appeal or parole or whatever she was reaching for. I mean, these people murdered people. So I'm not surprised. And they know she did it. So it's not like they don't know. And they know the Menendez brothers did it. It's not like there's any innuendo there. So that's that. But I'll be watching the show on Fox on Monday on TMZ and see. I'll report back after that. Speaking of cases, there's two other cases here I want to talk about. So there was a Dateline a few weeks ago with that lady Lori Vallow. She's the one that she had 3 kids, a older son that's still alive, and then she had the 2 younger kids, a son and a daughter, that her and her new husband were involved in killing her children. We don't know the specifics if it was just a husband and she knew, but she's definitely part of it. And she had this crazy interview with Dateline. And the guy is asking her, and she's in jail. So he's interviewing her in jail, and she's getting all flustered, and she's super bossy and rough with the guy. And she's like, you don't know, you act like you were there, and all this stuff. And she just looks crazy. She's out of it. She's one of those that she could probably plead insanity or something because she claims she has nothing to do with it. She claims they didn't have anything to do with it, and that the daughter is the one that killed the brother and then herself, which awful because we all know they killed those kids, and now she's trying to make it look like the daughter got out of control trying to take care of the son and like smothered him, buried him, or no, smothered him, then killed herself, and then the husband graciously buried the kids and got rid of the problem or something. It's really sad. It's really sad because she also, I think she was responsible for killing her ex-husband and stuff like that. So she has a feeling she's going to get out and be free and the truth will come out. She's obviously delusional and that's not going to happen. But if you want to go back and watch that Dateline, I think you should. It's crazy to watch. And then the other case everyone's talking about is Karen Reed. It's on, is it on Max? I think it's on HBO Max. The Karen Reed documentary. She's the lady that she was dating a police officer in Boston. I think his name is O'Keefe, and John O'Keefe. They were dating, on and off for like 2 years, nothing too serious. And one night they're all going out and partying, bar hopping, and he ends up dead in the snow, like in front of his house. And they're accusing her of hitting him with her car, leaving him for dead. And then the first trial ended with I think it was a hung jury when they can't decide. So that trial ended, and the new trial just started a few days ago. And it's interesting because one of the jury, she was an alternate juror on the first trial. So I don't think she listened in to everything, but she was just there like if something happened to one of the jurors, but she was able to hear everything. And now she's a lawyer on her case now that just started her second trial. So she has the impact of the juror that heard all the information so she can guide them, which I think they said this has never happened before. It's unprecedented that an alternate juror has now is on the lawyer side of the second trial. So she has an advantage there because she can say, this is what they said and did and thought at the first one, so let's tweak it for the second one. So I think there's so many people that think she's innocent and there's so many people that think she's not. I think it's either 50-50 or maybe 70-30, but a lot of people think she's innocent because of the neighbor that had the dog that suspiciously got rid of the dog, rehomed the dog, sold the house, never came out that night, even though he knew something crazy was happening outside. He stayed in the house. And then another friend neighbor also Googling how long does it take for a body to die in the snow, in the cold. So there are weird coincidences around it. And then there's also evidence against her because she texted some things and searched some things and did some things too. So I think to me, this is one of those cases that if you weren't there, everyone could speculate, but you're never going to really know what actually happened. I think it's one of those things because there's no ring camera in front of his house. There's no actual evidence and everything's kind of a guess. What do you, the, an educated guess. There's no real proof saying this or that. So it could be the neighbor, it could be the other one, it could be the girlfriend, it could be anyone. And it just all of those scenarios fit if you word it a certain way and show it a certain way. So I personally think this is a really hard case to decipher. I would not want to be on that jury because I would say I have no clue. I don't like, just because something seems like obvious that's not a fact. Like OJ to me was more of a slam dunk, and there's other ones that you're like, forget it. I mean, this is what happened. This case to me, it could go either way. That's my take on it. I watched the documentary and I just I can't tell. There's too many innuendos, there's too many scenarios that make sense to me. So we'll see what happens now with the second trial. If she is innocent, though, I feel really bad for her. This has pretty much depleted her funds and ruined her life in the meantime. So I'm curious to see how this goes. Chappell Roan, oh my God, she was on Call Her Daddy. And she is blowing up everywhere because when asked, do you want to get married and have kids? She said that all her friends that are married and have kids are quote unquote in hell and have no light in their eyes. So But she also went on to say that she wasn't sure if she wants them. So she's basically saying, I'm talking shit. I don't know what I'm saying, as most young people these days do, because I don't know what's going on. I feel bad for this new generation. They're just everything they think. First of all, there's never been more depression and more isolation as there is now in the younger people. And the social media obviously is 90% responsible for that. But I will say, when you say things like that, people think everything is supposed to be so self-serving. Everything's supposed to be, you're supposed to be so happy all the time. You don't have kids to be happy. You don't get up and go to work to be happy. It's almost like people forget that we're human beings. It's called the cycle of life. And you're not just supposed to walk around being happy 24/7. That is not the point of life. And I'm not saying I know what the point of life is, but you get what I'm saying. Life is hard. Life is struggle. Life is lessons to be learned. Life is so many things. And for you to say, well, I don't know if I want to have kids because everyone's miserable that has them. Well, everyone that is miserable that doesn't have them too. So, and there's people that are very happy with their kids. So there's another side to the coin. It's almost, it just, I hope I'm explaining this right. You're not supposed to live life and do all the decisions to quote unquote be happy. Being happy has nothing to do with living life. Now, making decisions to ensure your peace and um like a nice level of peace and contentment. I think being content and peaceful is much more important than quote happy. Me is temporary. Happy is you're watching a movie, you're laughing, someone's saying a joke, you're having a drink. Those are happy moments that last minutes. That's that's a state of being that is fleeting. Happy is not a way of living. And I guess that's what I'm trying to say. You're not supposed to be happy just living life. And when people go to work, they're not happy. They're just content and peaceful. And that's just the cycle they have to do because of the society we live in. We have to make money. We have to pay bills. We have to. There's no choice. I mean, there is a choice, but if you don't want to live like homeless, and you got to do it. And so I think it's contentment to just be grateful for what you have. And then everything else is just life lessons. I mean, you're supposed to have kids. We're made to reproduce. And so is Chappell Roan saying her mom and her dad are miserable, lifeless people? Because that's what she's saying. Because they had a child, they had her, right? So it's so ridiculous for her to say things like that. And it's just coming from a place of ignorance and a place of the society we live in with the youth today thinking the way they think. It's like everything's not supposed to be self-serving and happy. It's supposed to be a struggle. We're supposed to struggle. We're supposed to have loss. We're supposed to cry. We're supposed to raise our unbearable children, some worse than the others, and learn lessons and see life differently and have a different way of experiencing life. And it's so many other things and being happy. And I think that's what she misses in her thought process there. So that blew up the internet. And I would love to talk to her about it because it's absolutely ridiculous that she said something like that. But what are your thoughts? I mean, and that's like saying too, the marriage. Everyone that's married is miserable. It's like, no, people marry the wrong person all the time because guess what? Getting married is like unlike anything else, right? You get married, people change, they get fat, they get bald, they get old, they change your personality, they change jobs, they want to move somewhere else. Whatever the case is, you can't predict that. And most of the time, people marry the wrong person, but that's okay. That's what divorce is for. And you try your best and you don't know what's coming. So it's called living life. Again, it's just living life. Sometimes it works out great. Sometimes it was great for the amount of time you're married and then you get divorced, and that's great too. Everything is a choice and everything is an experience, and everything is about experiencing life. And children are part of that experience. Not that you have to have them, but to just say blanket statement like that everybody's miserable and everyone doesn't have light in their eyes that has kids is absurd. It's so stupid. And it's insulting because her fans that make her money and have her afford the life she lives are all parents. Most of them, a lot of them, and they're married. So you're insulting everyone's choices and lifestyle, but I thought it's just a sign of the times how these young people feel, they don't want to get married. They don't want to, they don't want to do anything basically, but sit on their phone and complain about the world. It just seems to me they just don't want to go out there and experience all the angles of life. And that's what I took from her comment, because it's what makes life go round. Life is a struggle, and people that say otherwise are lying, or they haven't got to that struggle yet. There's different levels of it, but everybody struggles. Everybody. So I don't agree with you, Chappell. And I think she'll change her tune later on in life and be like, remember when I said that on Call Her Daddy? That was so out of pocket. I want to talk about Rain Disick. I feel so bad for the Kardashian, well, any celebrity kids, but everybody has always said, including Brie, Anna, and I, we've always said that Rain looks just like Justin Bieber. So I guess the rumor has reached the ears of Rain Disick. So apparently he went on live with Alabama Barker's boyfriend, Scooter Jackson. And at some point in the live, he tells everybody, no, he's like that Justin Bieber's not his father. And he says, no, he's not, bro. I swear. Justin Bieber's not my dad. Scotty is my dad. I don't know how old my mom was, but I think Justin Bieber was 16 when I got born. I don't think my mom would do that. The kid's probably like 8 years old, and it's so sad. He doesn't even know what he's saying. It's almost like he just hears this stuff and he's like, what are you talking about? That doesn't make sense. He's not my dad. Like, that's probably his mind frame of everyone saying Justin Bieber's your dad. And I want a blood test. I'm sorry. I think he looks a lot like Justin Bieber and he looks nothing like Scott. So that's just my take. I'm not convinced, in other words. They don't have to do anything, obviously. They don't have to prove anything to anybody. But I will not 100% believe it's not, unless I knew there was a blood test or something, because it's just too eerie when you look at the two when Justin Bieber was little. And it's not like he looks just like Courtney either. It's not like, oh, he looks just like Courtney, he doesn't have to look like Scott. Like, no, he does not look just like Courtney. He looks like completely different than the other kids, which happens. And he could totally be Scott and Courtney's kid, but we won't know, will we? Until But that's sad. Kids on social media, I do not envy any celebrity and their children and what they have to go through. I personally wouldn't read the comments. I'm good at that. I don't give a crap what anyone says. I think people are trolls and I'm not affected whatsoever. But as an adult, I feel that way. To have your kids have to hear and read this stuff, that sucks, because their little brains aren't formed and they can't rationalize. And I don't like that. I saw a Reddit story. There's a Reddit story that went viral 4 years ago. It's a short story someone posted, and they picked it up to make a movie out of it. This is so exciting. I post stories, not short stories, but like blog articles, and I have stories. So I think I'm gonna start posting my short stories, and maybe it'll be picked up and made into a movie. That'll be fun. Also on TikTok, wow. So the Resilient Jenkins, I don't know if you're on TikTok and you would know who they are. There's this family that just kept having kids, and they lived in a 1-bedroom, and they got all this flack because they took the bed in the bedroom and all the kids were sleeping in the living room by the door, and it was like dirty and filthy and cramped, and they have like all these kids and all these cats. And so I guess they got kicked out of the place they were living in, and they abandoned, I think it was like 3 or 4 cats. And this other girl took in one of the cats, and that story's gone viral. And now she just rescued the second one because somebody took him and they can't keep him or something. But it's really cute because the cat was in such bad condition, and the skin, and had no fur, and he's going back to health, and he's feeling so happy. And the lady, they were in a hotel, the people that abandoned them, the Jenkins family, and they were saying that they got kicked out of the hotel because everyone was calling. People are insane. Those Jenkins families are insane, and the people that obsess over people online are insane. They found out what hotel these people were in. How do you do that? I don't know. But that's way too much obsession and time on your hands. And then they called the hotel and got them kicked out. What kind of It's really scary to see the kind of people. Like, social media has shown a side of humanity that is absolutely insane. I like to come on here and I like to talk some shit about people and opinions, but it's not personal to me. I'm not stalking anyone. I'm not, these people take it so far. And I find it a little scary that strangers would take the time to do stuff like this. But they did, and apparently they got kicked out of the hotel, and I don't know where they are now. But it's a scary world. I wouldn't put myself out there like that, especially if I'm being kicked out from place to place. But you know, anyways, that's all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed it, and Bree and I will be back next week to talk some more salty topics. See ya.